Welcome to the Time to Fly podcast. It's time to give your business wings and take flight to achieve more impact, influence, and income with unique perspectives, tools, and tips from successful entrepreneurs and business professionals to help your business fly. Here to educate, encourage, and entertain you with their own unique perspectives and experience, plus sharing anecdotes of growing up as cowgirls. Here's your host, Nikole Haumont.
Welcome to this episode of the Time to Fly podcast. Give your business wings. I'm your host, Nikole Haumont, here to talk with you today about domain names and websites. Now, I want to go over a few reasons why you need to have your own domain name and you need to have your own website and not just rely on social media. When it comes to domain names, you want to make sure that you purchase your name, first and last name, such as NikoleHaumont.com, and also your business names. The reason you want to do this is to block your competition from ever getting a hold of your name or your business name, even if you don't ever plan on building a website on there. The second reason you want to do this, when it comes to your name, if you have your first and last name, preferably with a .com, then you will be able to build several brands underneath yourself. You are the main head of your company, no matter what you do. Especially if you're in the trenches building a business, you are the first and foremost person. Now, I do suggest building your businesses under an actual brand name, such as my Shield Bar Marketing or my Standout Pro. The reason you want to have those is when you're building a business, keep the end in mind. To me, the end is either A, I will be keeping this business for the foreseeable future, or B, I am building this business in order to sell it. Now, I can't sell my first and last name, but I could sell a brand name if I chose to. Having a domain name, especially a .com or a .net, is the best way to go. Currently, there are actually 1,536 different types of TLDs, which is top-level domains. Most people know those as .coms or .nets. Now, most people will never ever need more than 2 or 3 TLDs, but I do actually have the .com of my name, my husband's name, and my son's name. Even though my husband and my son are not building anything on theirs right now, we want to keep them from falling into the hands of somebody who may try to do harm to your good name. With your business name, I would suggest that you get the .com and the .net and make sure that you have those. Depending on how common your name is, you may not be able to get it without a hyphen. So should you hyphenate a domain name or should you not? There's a couple advantages to it and there's a couple disadvantages. So if you're going to have a hyphen or a dash in your name when it comes to a domain, you want to make sure that you consider it carefully. Don't just do it just because you think it's going to help with search engine optimization. It very well might help with SEO, but it's going to be more difficult for your clients to find you because they are not used to putting that hyphen in. So some advantages of having a hyphen. If your domain name is comprised of generic terms, it's more likely to be available, especially when you're seeking .com domains. There is some SEO benefits to having it, but search engines anymore are quite adept at determining separate words within a domain name or anchor text. The third reason to have a hyphen in there is to help people avoid running words together within your domain name. So I have some examples for you. Now, you can take a moment and write these down if you would like to, but I will try to explain them to you. I'm going to give you a few examples here, and believe me, you'll probably be laughing and shaking your head by the time you're done saying, oh my gosh, why didn't they recognize that? So the first one is a site called Who Represents, is where you can find the name of the agent that represents a celebrity. Their domain name, without the hyphen in it, could read as whorepresents.com. So think about that when you're creating your domain name. Not a very good first impression, is it? Another example of a domain name gone wrong is expertsexchange.com. It's a knowledge base where programmers can exchange advice and views, but if you read it incorrectly, it's expertsexchange.com, even though their name is Experts Exchange. So look at your domain name when you write it down and see maybe you do need a hyphen on it. Another domain name that should have been looked at a little bit carefully. Are you looking for a pin? Well, then look no further than Penn Island at penisland.net. Yes, Penn Island turns into Penisland if you look at it incorrectly. And a final one Just in case those 3 examples are not enough to make you consider what other words are in your domain name, want a holiday in Lake Tahoe? One of their brochures that they put out had gotahoe.com on their brochure. Now, when you look at that incorrectly, it is gotahoe.com. So one of those things, definitely double check what other words are going to appear in your domain name when you register, and you may want to consider having a hyphen. Now, disadvantages to having a hyphen in your domain name. First of all, it does add an extra character to the domain name. I advise clients to think about the smallest area that they're going to be having their domain name on. Usually that's a business card. So on a business card, if you add a hyphen, it's another character space. If you have a super long domain name, how is it going to fit on your business card? Is it going to be only an 8-point font and be very hard to read? Things to consider on that are, do you need the hyphen because it adds an extra character? Also, a lot of people have recall issues because they're not used to having domains with hyphens or dashes in them. So when you tell people to go to my website and you say, go to shieldbar-marketing.com, not a domain I have, but as an example, they're like, oh, do we spell dash out or is it hyphen or what is it? So it's kind of hard to recall. It's definitely harder when you're advertising on the radio or through word of mouth if you have a hyphen in there. And one of the final reasons you may not want to have a hyphen or dash in your domain name is if you ever do resell just the domain name, they are not going to bring as much money as a non-hyphenated domain name. So those are just a few things to consider when you are purchasing your domain name. You want to make sure you do lock down your first and last name, especially the .com if at all possible. And you want to look for those other words that may make your domain name a little bit odd when people read it incorrectly. And determine if you really do need that hyphen or not. Now we're going to take a quick sponsor break.
This episode is sponsored by Shield Bar Marketing, saving service-based businesses time, money, and frustration. More than just a designer, but a partner helping you develop a consistent online and offline strategy.
We are back. This is Nikole Haumont, now going to visit with you about why you have to have your own domain name, no matter how strong your social media game is. The main number one reason, in my opinion, that you have to have your own website is that you control the information that is on that site, not somebody else. You control it. Let's say you have 1.4 million followers on Instagram and you have a great thing going there. You have people interacting with you, and tomorrow Facebook says, you know what? Instagram really isn't doing anything for us. We're going to shut it down. Where do those 1.4 million people go that were avid and loyal fans of yours? Well, hopefully you've had a website and you've got them onto an email marketing list so you can keep in touch because you spent a lot of effort building that huge Instagram following. Your website is your hub for everything. That means you can control the content there. You can put your different social media links on there. You can put your vlog on there. You can put your blog on there. You can create everything you want your potential clients to know about you on your website. You want to make sure that your website is professional looking and that it has a consistent branded look that goes along with the social media you have created. You want to make sure you have a consistent color scheme. Even if you don't have a logo, having a consistent color scheme and having the formatting done properly with the fonts and the hyphens and the dashes and all that will make a big difference on people recognizing that this is the same person that I follow on social media. When it comes to formatting, what I mean there, think about like your phone number. Do you put hyphens in it whenever you give it out, or do you do dot? Are you consistent across all platforms when you do that? Does your business card look like your website? Does your website look like your Facebook header? Things like that are important because it helps to build a consistent branded look across all mediums. You can have the same fonts, and you can also make sure that you're following your style sheet. Take time to write down what are your main 3 colors. What are your other supporting colors that go with it? What kind of fonts do you use? Do you use a sans serif? Do you use a serif? Do you use a script or handwritten decorative? There's a ton of different things to think about. When you are going from one asset to another, such as from social media to your business card to your website, does it look like it's all from the same brand? If not, you might want to readdress that style sheet. With your website, you're going to be able to put your own video blogs or written blogs on there. You're going to be able to have either written content or embed video I still use YouTube for my search engine optimization, but I am in the process of adding the videos that I've done back onto my website, so it is a video blog. That way I have fresh content out there, which helps people find me, and it makes the search engines happy. So that is one of the main things that you need to do on your website, is have fresh content on there, at least on a monthly basis. You can also add your social media link. You're going to add links so it's easy for people to follow you on your preferred platforms, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. You want to make it easy for people to follow you on social media, but you do it if they stumble across your website because they found a business card or somebody recommended you. On your blog post, you also want to have social media links so it's easy for people to share. If somebody comes across one of your written blog posts or one of your videos and they're like, oh my goodness, my friend Susie needs to know about this, you need to have the share button so they can either email it or they can share it to social media and help spread the word. On your website is also a place to put your testimonials. Now, if you're designing in WordPress, you can do a plugin that pulls those testimonials from different areas. Or you can take screenshots on your cell phone, crop them down so it shows the relevant information, and upload them onto your website as social proof of testimonials. Or you can copy and paste the testimonial into the actual website. I prefer to do the screenshots because then you can use those as a meme within your social media, and it's also on your website as an image, which means you did not alter it. Your website is also for your portfolio, especially if you're in any type of design business or if you are into a business that helps businesses grow. You want to have that portfolio and say, I helped company XYZ go from this many leads per month to this many leads per month. For me, with the websites, I love to show before and afters, especially some of the befores that I've seen. It's a world of difference of having a professional website done. So make sure if you're doing a graphic design or if you're styling somebody's hair or if you are cleaning their car, if you're a detailer, take befores and afters and put them on your website, repurpose the content and put it on your social media. When you're doing your portfolio, you can also take the time to describe the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how behind the project. Because then if somebody comes to your website and says, oh my gosh, that sounds like me, and look what they did for this person, that will give you a ton of information to put on your portfolio page. And that also gives you search engine optimization by talking about the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how. You also should have your services on the website. This is to explain what you do and to let clients know what's in it for them. Why should they work with you? What do you know? What can you bring to the table and how does it benefit them? Remember to use stories. Facts tell and stories sell. So that is something you need to have on your website, is the services that you offer and why it does the end user good to use that. And of course, you can have your own products on there. You can have a small e-commerce store embedded into your website. You can have buy now buttons, whether it's for a digital download that they receive via email, whether it's tickets to an upcoming event, or whether it's actual physical goods like a book or a t-shirt that you're going to mail them. That's what your website is for. Yes, I know you can add Facebook shopping plugins, and you should, but you also need to have them on your website in case for some reason something happens to Facebook one of these days. And one other area that you really should have fleshed out on your website is the frequently asked questions page. This is so people who have questions can go and say, oh, this is why I should use this company. You're going to want to make sure that you add those questions as they come up. Sometimes I will talk to people and I'll be like, oh, I don't have that on my FAQ page. I need to add it. So sometimes I'll shoot a video and explain it that way. And I also do it in written words. So that way the search engines like that kind of content too. So you for sure want to have a business website. Now it's up to you if you're going to have a personal website also. It depends on what your business goals are and what you want to accomplish professionally. If you're going to be a speaker, then you obviously need to brand yourself, not your business when it comes to speaking engagements. If you're going to be a person who wants to have multiple entities, you're going to want to brand yourself also. So that way people get to know you and figure out why they want to know, like, and trust and do business with you. I am a firm believer that people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And by having your domain name and the content out there that you want to have shared helps you to position yourself as an expert and somebody that they should know, like, and trust, no matter what industry you are in. So if you're going to be building different verticals, then you definitely want to be the face in front of all of it. That's why having a personal website is also a good plan. And of course, when you have business websites and personal websites, interlink them all. One, it's going to help on the backside with search engine optimization. And two, then if people are interested in you and they want to learn more about your specific business, they can find it easy. On your personal website, you're going to want to have your bio. You're going to want to have ways that people can connect with you, including your social links and probably your phone number, or at least a scheduling such as Calendly so people can schedule time with you without getting your actual phone number. Having those kind of options available on your own site is fabulous. And the cool part is a lot of those third-party apps such as Calendly, you can also integrate into your social media. So even though you may be buying it to put on your website, you can use it on multiple platforms. So make sure when you get your domain name, you check for other words, you get the .com if at all possible, and then you want to make sure you create a professional, clean-looking website for your business and for yourself. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. You can always go to shieldbar.com or NikoleHaumont.com or standoutpro.com. There's information on all three of those sites where you can connect with me on there. And if you have any questions regarding websites, Facebook, or LinkedIn, please be sure to drop me a line so I can answer those questions in a future podcast. Be sure to join us for our next show of Time to Fly. Give your business wings.
A big thank you to this episode's sponsor, Shield Bar Marketing. Be sure to visit shieldbar.com for all your marketing needs.
Join our fly. Stay informed of all things Time to Fly by subscribing to our newsletter at timetoflypodcast.com. And be sure to tune in to our next show.